Well, it could be weirder between you and your brother and his crappy ponytail. I'm Jackie.
West Side Story, but the dandy lads have skateboards instead of knives. I'm Justin.
That's pretty much what I was going to say. David, we get it. You were in West Side Story. You didn't need to put it on wheels. I'm Sam, and this is 1986's Thrashin on Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, currently streaming on Amazon Prime. Nobody starring? Josh Brolin. Yeah, I guess Josh Brolin's a big deal. In Thrashin. Sam, your turn.
But it's got Robert Russler in it, too.
Oh, okay.
And that chick from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Sherilyn Fenn. Yeah, she's in this.
Actually, both Pamela Gridley and Sherilyn Fenn were in Twin Peaks.
Pamela Gridley? Who's that?
She's the dead one, right?
The blonde one that was the girlfriend in this. And I don't know if she was in as anything but an extra in the series, but she is in Firewalk with Me. Okay. So technically they're both in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Robert Russler was the guy in the mascara that was the bad guy. Right. That looks enough like Lance Mountain that they could just stick some sunglasses on Lance Mountain and you'd never tell who was skating.
Tommy Hook.
It seemed, however, as if Robert Russler and Josh Brolin learned to skate okay. Mm-hmm. There's nothing about that, not like with Christian Slater thing, because he struggled so hard.
Right.
Became friends with Tony Hawk and all this. Yeah, the casting is like whatever. It's the same people. It's the Bones Brigade. Only this time is right after the probably most relevant thing that happens with any of these movies, Thrashin, Gleaming the Cube, all of it, is that this is the year after the Bones Brigade video show came out on VHS, and it was Stacy Peralta's idea, and he's like, I'm going to make this video, we'll make like 300 of them, send them out to the distributors, they can show this in the showroom, and the kids will be like, oh, we'll buy the Bones Brigade boards because these guys are so badass at skateboarding.
Okay.
That happened, but what also happened is they're like, sell me this video, take my fucking money. And so he had to make 30,000 of them.
Oh, wow.
It's a couple.
Ka-ching.
Yeah, right.
And you really think about like all those videos that we watched, and there was what were the Krusty's motorcycle videos?
Yeah, and like Warren Miller.
CKYs.
Right.
And if you go back to where it all came from, Stacy Peralta was the guy that started all that. Like, sort of, they're not bootlegs because they're direct to you're just limited supply and you got to order direct, and then you're watching these things with 8 people in a basement.
Right.
And it got so popular that they had to, like, we got to capitalize on this, immediately they decide to make Thrashin'. They bring on David Winters, and he's like, well, I was in West Side Story. We can make it into that. They're like, why not, I guess? He put himself in the movie. He's slinging the T-shirts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So one of the first casts he does was Sherilyn Fenn. And he was just like, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to cast her boyfriend as the lead, one Johnny Depp. Mm-hmm. And the producers are like, nobody's going to believe that kid's a skateboarder. And then everyone blinked.
Right.
For a long time. And they're like, okay, whatever.
Let's get this other dandy in here then.
Josh Brolin's at least, I don't know. He doesn't actually look like a skateboarder. He looks too built. He looks like he plays like big. Tight end in high school, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So Sherilyn Fenn gets to stay, but Johnny Depp has to go. Oddly enough, later, Josh Brolin would be the first choice for 21 Jump Street, and he was like, yeah, I want to do it.
It sounds stupid.
Sounds stupid.
High school cops?
So they go with Johnny Depp. And you want to know, like, have a fun time. Both of you and everyone who's listening. Look at Josh Brolin's filmography from Goonies to No Country for Old Men.
Uh-huh.
Look at, there's a bunch of them, and none of them are good. None of them are noteworthy for anything. Like, everybody knew who he was, but he did shit for like 15 years.
Who, both of them?
Johnny Depp was in stuff that was popular.
No Country for Old Men, obviously, was very popular, man. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, is that
between those...
he's in Goonies, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Josh Brolin, Goonies, yeah. And then until No Country for Old Men.
I can't name.
It's kind of nuts.
I can't name a movie other than Thrashin, and I couldn't have done that yesterday. I mean, I got nothing.
Yeah.
And the guy's a great actor.
Yeah, the two that you listed are the only two that I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen those movies and can't declare whether he was acting good before No Country for Old Men. He's great in No Country for Old Men. And, dude, he's freaking Thanos. I'm wearing a Thanos shirt right now. He's great as Thanos, right?
He was Thanos?
Yeah!
God. Just because he had a triple butt chin. Can't recognize him all of a sudden. Got a flabby butt on his face. You're like, who's that guy? That's not him. Josh Brolin's not purple.
Anytime that you glue a butt chin onto somebody, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Double butt chin. It's like a double rainbow. I'm immediately distracted. And I just can't keep my shit together. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
If Jackie was a security guard at an art museum, she'd never catch anybody because they just come in with shit glued on their chin. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Makes you feel any better. We did go see The Black Phone this weekend. And it took me till about halfway through the movie to realize that Ethan Hawke was the bad guy. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, because he had some shit glued on his chin.
Yeah, because he had some shit glued on his face, and I didn't figure it out until the movie was almost over.
Nice. It was a don't from me. Okay, back to Thrashin'.
So, yeah, this is classic low-budget Hollywood fare. I couldn't even really find out what it cost and what it made, all that. Mm-hmm. It's sort of meh.
Well, you know that they had a pot budget.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some weed napping
Every skater
here.
I've ever known smokes the marijuana.
Oh, God. Do you try to sound like an old person? Like
I am old, Justin.
Okay.
I feel like the Bones Brigade is actually pretty straight edge.
Really?
They dabbled. They definitely dabbled.
I'm sure the Dogtown, the Z-Boys did. Like, Tony Alva, guy was stoned all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently most of the stunts, according to creditry, which is obviously wrong because Rodney Mullen is in the movie.
Okay.
No one else can do that. We saw him. He has significant screen time. No credit.
Okay. Steve Caballero did, and so did Tony Hawk, I know.
Steve Cab did a lot of the stunts, and so did Tony Alva. Tony Hawk, I think, got FaceTime for a second.
Mm-hmm. He was in the pool competition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Dislant, but they mentioned the McTwist. They're like, oh, but maybe he can pull it off. I'm like, well, unless he's not the guy at this point in time, the guy that invented that's the only guy who can pull it off. Quite actually. It takes to like the mid-90s before that becomes a commonplace trick.
Corey Webster seemed like a legit skateboarder, Sam.
I'm just saying, I thought they were advertising for McDonald's. That was a shameless plug for McDonald's.
Isn't there a McTwist? No, it's a McFlurry.
I think they called their ice cream cones McTwist when they had like flavors in them.
Well, in skateboarding, when you do a McFlurry by doing a McTwist and then giving jazz hands in midair. That's how you do a McFlurry.
No, the McFlurry is when you skate slowly, not doing any tricks by someone who has a McFlurry. You take it from them and shove it into their face and say, square! Because that's what the daggers would do in this movie.
Oh, man.
Which
we'll
get to the spiritry
of... The toughest Venice beach gang in history.
Yeah, in a second here. But, so yeah, there's a lot of weird things that happen because of this movie. So, Rodney Mullen not getting a credit.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy Peralta did second unit. Well, it looks like half this movie that's on screen is second unit, so he didn't really sort of get his way either.
Right.
This sort of indirectly leading to Gleaming the Cube, when they're like, well, if we're going to do a Hollywood movie, we're going to do it better. Because let's just be honest, trick-wise, if I saw one more acid drop, I was going to throw something through the TV. It's not that cool of a trick, and there was like 73 acid drops, and it's like, yeah, you can jump off something and land.
Yep.
Pick up your skateboard and drop it, or jump off of something. Like, no, other tricks are way cooler.
Yeah, but Josh Brolin did the ultimate acid drop though, because when he was in the dagger territory and he got up to the top and then he dropped off the back end of the wall.
Danny Way did an acid drop out of a helicopter and jumped over a building.
Yeah.
That's way more badass. Yeah. Watch the Danny Way shit. It's on... Actually, that's where I'm going to get with the rest of this Bones Brigade stuff, is that right now on Amazon, all this shit's there because of Stacy Peralta. So you got the Danny Way documentary, you got the Bones Brigade in their own words. If you're interested in this stuff, it's there right now. Go watch it. It's pretty good stuff. Danny Way will fucking make you freak out. You're like, what the fuck? That man is insane.
Okay. Top 10.
So the Johnny Depp thing really irked off that David Winters. So much so that he vowed never to do movies in a capacity where he wouldn't have final decisions on casting and everything else. So basically this movie indirectly led to Gleaming the Cube, and it also indirectly led to the entire construction of Action International Pictures.
Right.
Beautiful!
I mean,
and he's right, because this is a pile of fucking shit.
There's like 2 years between this and Deadly Prey. Like,
no, he was hot. He was hot when he got him and Stacy Peralta. When they saw the cut of this movie, they were both hot. He's like, one, I didn't want to do that many acid drops second unit. We had a bunch of other good stuff. What the fuck? Stacy Peralta's pissed. David Winters is like, where's my jazz hands? Where's my Johnny Depp? I only got to be on screen for a second. I'm an actor. I'll make my own movie company, you sons of bitches.
Ring, ring. Hey, it's Reb Brown calling. What weird timing. I'm going to go work with Reb.
You'll be perfect, Reb Brown. For what? Nothing but everything.
And what was with the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
What was with them?
Oh, I should mention that.
That whole scene was just shit.
What do you mean what was with them? You really know nothing about the Chili Peppers, Jackie. Like,
you know nothing about the Chili Peppers.
Nothing. So let's save it till we get to that scene.
Yeah,
but they're in this movie.
They are. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are. Yep.
And which I'm going to... The Red Hot Chili Peppers, not the Chili Peppers that everybody knows. Right. And Jack Irons isn't here, but Jack Irons isn't really, like, drummer wasn't a thing. That is Hillel Slovak on guitar, and that's from Freaky Styley.
Okay.
Freaky Styley to the Uplift Mofo Party Plan. The Red Hot Chili Peppers that everybody knows is the record company's version of that band that has a plant. Who Chad Smith's a great guy.
Chad Smith is a great
friends
guy.
now. Yep. He looks just like Will Smith, I think, or Will Ferrell. I think they're the same guy, but whatever.
It might be the same guy.
He's there for a reason, that he will be able to play drums for them without dying of drugs. John Frusciane's a great guitarist. They picked him up on their own. He's in and out. But the style of the Red Hot Chili Peppers is the stuff that you never heard on the radio. And this is the Red Hot Chili Peppers that, like, I myself am a big follower of the Faith No More Chili Peppers, Mike Patton, Anthony Kiedis feud that shouldn't exist, because they shouldn't have turned Mike Patton into Faith No More's singer, and they shouldn't have turned the Red Hot Chili Peppers into Faith No More too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, if you still have the Red Hot Chili Peppers and you still have Mr. Bungle, there's no beef, because those bands couldn't be more different.
I think we could have an entire episode where you just rant about Southern California surf, 80s surf music. Venice.
Man, that Mr. Bungle album, California, is sure great.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Okay, are we ready? Are we good here? Okay, I'm going.
Good.
All right, so our guy, Josh Brolin, his character's name is Corey Webster, and he's a skateboarder. And he's pretty handle
in metal class because he made his own skateboard necklace.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he made that instead of just buy it at a frickin' any boardwalk store on Venice Beach.
Nope, he made that in shop class.
Okay, all right.
Oh, fuck that. If we went into shop class and made a necklace, they're like, the jewelry class is down the fucking hall. We're making it home ec or whatever. This is metals. If you're going to make a knife, and if that knife can't cut down a tree, you're getting an F.
And if you don't lose at least 2 fingers along the way, you're doing it wrong.
If you
kid.
don't almost blow up this shop making a knife that can cut down a tree, you're not doing it right.
Get out of here, you little pussy. Go join the ladies and bake a cake.
Yeah. Put your jewelry in the cake. Choke on it. Little surprise for later.
Oh my god. All right, so he's, I don't know where he's at, but he's not in LA. And so he's got to get out of his, he's got to get down to LA to live in LA because
he's in the valley. But he's got to get to the
coast. He
is
a valley boy, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's a valley boy, and he's got to get to Santa Monica or Venice or fill in the bank on that strip.
Right.
So that he can participate in the downhill race, because to this point, people still haven't gone, oh, it's wheels. And you see them do all the tricks, and then you're like, when do they race? And you're like, this is the main event, dickhead. Can you do that on anything with wheels? Why would you want to watch them race? Look at what they're doing now. Right. Like, a race? Okay, fine.
My buddy can do a McTwist in his Civic, so yeah.
I am starting to prefer hooning around to racing.
All right, so he gets there. He's going to stay in his buddy Tyler's motorhome, and right next to it is where they've built their ramp. So I'm confused on what anybody's name is in this movie, really, and what their gang's name is, because they paint the ramp Local 5 on it, and then Tommy Hook later calls them the Ramp Locals. But looks like a 5, and why would you call yourself the Ramp Locals? At the same time, why would you call yourself Local 5? Because, well, I mean, I guess there is 5 of them. Anybody?
But they're not local.
Jurassic 5 was already taken.
Yeah, right?
Those guys are badass. This is the music episode.
I prefer the MC5, Sam. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're called. So what are we going to call them? The gang?
The Squares.
The Squares. Okay, all right. We got...
No, the Rabbit Boys, because they cut the roof off a rabbit, which is a uniframe.
Yeah, they all died.
They all died.
All right, so now the entire town comes to watch them do vert tricks on their ramp, because skateboarding is a phenomenon. They have Legend of Billie Jean type followers immediately for the Rabbit Boys.
Yes, they do.
And they've got the daggers have a spy there, of course.
But we don't know about the daggers, Jackie. God, jump to the villains. But who's the?
Yeah, we don't see the daggers at all until they cut the roof off of that rabbit, and that hasn't happened yet.
Who's their spy?
They don't have a spy there yet.
Jackie's claiming they have a spy.
What do they do?
Yeah, Moody or Moochie. He was there at the ramp.
What's he look like?
We do meet them before they cut the top off, because they dent the top of the rabbit.
That's right.
Are you talking about Monk?
Yeah,
Monk's
Mark Munsky?
Monk's the plant?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll take it. I'll take it, because Monk is all over this thing, so...
He's slippery. Yeah, he's everywhere. Ah, I'm over here. I'm over there. Because, he's like Shaolin. Is that... Okay.
I was thinking greasy condom, but that,
Greasy condom.
He's just so gross.
Grease him first.
He's so
like
gross.
with Crisco.
You're like, okay, yeah, you definitely want to condom up with that guy.
Because
you want to condom up with that guy.
He's gross. He's just gross.
Or not have sex with him at all.
You could just leave.
I mean,
just leave.
If he's the only option in this gang to get in, right, and be part of the daggers, you're like, all right, initiation is you have to sleep with Moot, because this is the only time he ever gets laid. And you're like, oh no.
No, you condom up with everybody because of the STDs and the pregnancy, and you don't have sex with that guy. I mean, that's the...
No, I'm going with, those dog hoses that have the nozzle sprayers on them, but they also have a shampoo shooter, so that when he comes outside, you ambush him with the soap and the sprayer. Or you could just squeeze really hard on a bottle of, Dawn dish soap at him, and you have like the hose ready to go. So you squeeze him, blind him a little bit, so he's kind of stumbles around and kind of washes his face because he's trying to get the soap out of his eyes. But by then, you've already soaped him up and sprayed him down, and now he's good to go.
Okay.
So you're talking about cleaning people before you sexually assault them if they're too dirty.
But she's practicing safe sex now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other time that worries me, where she's like, Brolin, he's sponge-worthy. This is the 80s in L.A. I mean, you talk about a hotbed of STDs.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, the Chili Peppers are like, ugh, don't want to go back. Okay.
They couldn't do it because they were fucking ganked on heroin. They couldn't even fucking stand up half the time. Hillel dies 2 years after this movie comes out.
God rest his soul. Okay, so that...
Which one was that?
Hillel Slovak, the guitarist before John Frusciante, and then there's
the Red Hot Chili
slew
Peppers.
of other ones after that. But
of that band
Okay,
that you...
so is he the double guitar guy?
Yes, Hillel played a double. Yeah.
He's the
Okay,
guitarist.
okay.
He could
Well,
have...
there was a guy with one guitar, and then there was a guy with double guitar.
That one guy with the other guitar is a bass guitar, and his name is Flea, and he's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. Credited as Michael Balsary because I watched all the credits to make sure that they fucked it up like I heard they did by only crediting half the skaters, and they totally only credited half the skaters.
I mean, Flea literally is in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like,
also soundtrack, do you know who did the actual theme song? Thrashin', yeah. Meatloaf.
Yeah.
No way!
Way!
Oh my god, I love
I gotta
Meatloaf.
pull up the soundtrack so I don't forget about that, because the soundtrack is fucking ridiculous. Devo was on the soundtrack.
I heard Devo.
The Bengals were on the soundtrack before they got famous. They got famous like right after, and it had nothing to do with this. Circle Jerks are on there. The soundtrack to this is like the most discombobulated heap, and almost nobody'd heard of these people, and like 6 of them get #1 albums eventually. The Fine Young Cannibals were on there. I mean, it's crazy.
Fine Young Cannibals on the same album with the Circle Jerks? That's a weird pick.
And Meatloaf. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And some guy that writes sappy love songs that had like 4 in here.
Yeah, that guy.
And Devo. And the Bengals.
Right. That is
And I'm probably forgetting somebody.
Eclectic mix of very different musical styles.
Move on. I'll get back to
Boingo,
it. The
boingo.
Animator, the animatrons or the animats or something like that.
The Aquabats. Again. The Animatron or Boner. No, that sucks. Anima Boner? No, I got nothing. Okay, so they're out cruising around, and in their rabbit, and when up skates Tommy Hook and his gang, the Daggers. And Green Onions starts playing in the background, and you're like, whoa, Green Onions is on this soundtrack? No, it was not, but it should have been when they're skating up.
I liked this shot by Stacy Peralta. This is a good shot. You could tell it's him shooting it. They're all upright in a V pattern, and they're very controlled down that hill, moving very quickly. That's a very good shot.
And they immediately look like dandies. Like, Jackie started laughing here.
They have mascara.
They have makeup. They're tough. Tough guys.
I don't know if you can really, like, throw them under the bus for this one, because face painting was pretty big in the 80s. You know, the women all had face paint on in this movie. And the other guy from the Rabbits, our main characters, the brown-haired kid, he had a little dagger on his eye.
He did. He drew a dagger.
Liquid mascara.
He's got
a
fake tattoo of the opposing gang's son. Like, that's like wearing red in Sacramento. You can't do that. You're going to get shot.
He doesn't make sense at any point in this movie. He's just like, yeah, let's do the wrong thing constantly. They hit on girls later, and his worst sabotage of hitting on girls inadvertently works anyway. And he's like, we should bail now. I'm like, my God, can you get anything right? Also, the main guy, Robert Russell's character in the film is called Tommy Hook. because apparently they tried to name him Tony Hawk. Stacey Peralta probably had to punch a man in the face because he's like, no, I'm afraid that man is right over fucking there skateboarding for you.
Hello. Do you ever read, you follow Tony Hawk on the socials at all?
I don't. That thing with Christian Slater was the first time I've seen him. Because I follow Rodney a little bit, and so I see him because they like make silly pictures with each other here and there.
He's got this thing where everywhere he goes, everybody asks him, "Hey, do you know you look like Tony Hawk?" And he's like, "Oh, cool," and then doesn't say anything. And then somebody recently, I think, asked him like, "Do you know who Tony Hawk is?" And he's like, I've heard of him. And then the kid pulls up a picture of Tony Hawk and puts it up to Tony Hawk's actual face. And he's like, see, you look just like him. And nobody makes the damn connection that they're talking to Tony Hawk. It's like, he's not a normal. I mean, I'm not saying he's unnormal, but he's got a really distinctive face, guys. There's only one of them. And he's tall and slender and he looks like Tony Hawk. He's holding a skateboard.
Hey, that's Tony Hawk.
Dumb shit.
Like every time that happens, somebody's like, "Oh, I didn't know that you took pictures with people, Tony Hawk." And he's like, "Thank you for recognizing me and saying I don't look like me." Also, Rodney Mullen is an easy follow for me because he doesn't post anything fucking ever. I can wait like 2 years to catch up with what that guy's been doing.
All right, so
and who was the celebrity that they entered their own lookalike contest and they got third place?
Oh, I can't remember who that was. Yeah, you're right.
It's like Chris Pratt or something like that. He was like, they were having it at the mall and he just happened to be there.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so these guys, the Daggers, they're just general jerks. They're not.
They're idiots.
They're just kind of dick.
They're jerk-offs. They're not even jerks. They're jerk-offs.
They're jerk-offs. Like, I know that this is West Side Story and, like, America's, like, thinking of what gangs looks like is very romanticized at this point in time, but do we actually had gangs in Southern California at this point in time?
They would fucking kill. They wouldn't even kill these people. That's the problem. They wouldn't even be like, "Kid, you need to go home. I know you got $2 on you and it's not worth it for me to even fucking kill you."
Yeah, but what if like Tommy Hook was like,
choose a better life.
Was like, "Oh yeah, well you're in our turf. Because we're skate gang."
So he was like, Bloods. "Oh, yeah, you think you're hard? Meet me at 12:30 to joust." Oh, man, they just put 8 holes in Tommy. We should run.
We should go back to Fresno.
Yeah.
This is not our place. Okay. All right, so they get to the beach.
I'm from Ensenada.
They get to the beach, and they're like... Tommy walks up to a breakdancer and he's like, "Breaking is done." And the guy's like, "Okay, I'm scared of you." Like, his thing is breaking's not cool anymore. Get out of here, breakdancer, you nerd, you dork.
He calls them breakers. Breakers.
Just getting hot in 1986. Just getting hot.
What are you, some kind of loser doing breakdancing? You breakdancing.
It's the first main offense of the spirit of skateboarding and competitions in skateboarding. They don't fight each other.
No.
They know how fucking hard it is. And they're like, "Oh man, that's really cool. You should keep working on that. I know it's not like action and violence, Hollywood style, but neither is this bullshit."
Right?
And so, like, a real skateboarder would see that breakdancing guy and be like, "Whoa, that's funky fresh, bro." Yeah. You spent a lot of time working on that. I don't have elbows anymore.
You know what would have made it good, though, is if he would have been eating a hot dog and just kind of chucked it at the guy that was down there doing the headspin.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking's for losers.
Yeah.
Eat a dick. A hot dog dick. Get it? Because it's a hot dog.
Yeah, we're capable of making that one.
Eat a dick and then throw a hot dog at someone.
Tommy
Oh my God,
Tommy Hook is
do that now.
Tommy Hook is not
you
capable.
You should probably do that to one of your family members because that's the only way you're going to get away with it. And use one of those Genio turkey dogs because nobody likes them anyway.
I'm totally gonna do that to somebody.
Here's your problem. Here's your problem with that, Jackie. It's really stupid, but it's actually too good of an insult because Tommy Hook is incapable of doing anything. He would be like, "Oh yeah, you're stupid," because that's what this whole like every zinger in this movie is stupid. I'm rubber.
You are, but what am I?
I wrote it down later because it happens like 6 times in the movie where he's like, "You're stupid," and then somebody, mostly Josh Brolin's like, "No, you're stupid.
You're dumb,"
and then he just goes like this. Okay, I guess I am. Like, he's the worst insulter ever because you can be like, I'm rubber, you're glue, bounces off of me and sticks to you, and it works on him every time. You're like, oh, your face is dumb. No, your face is dumb. Oh, God, my face is dumb. Oh, no. Every time with this guy.
I don't know what to do after they say the same thing to me.
I was unprepared for that.
And granted, this is the 7th time it's happened in this movie,
Right.
but it gets me every time, man. I mean, you guys need to stop spreading my weakness.
All right. So the Rabbit Boys, they get down to Venice Beach, the skate park there. That's Tony Hawk 2, right, Sam?
Yes, and they bring it back in 4, I believe, but I scored 8 million points in one trick on that level.
That's right.
Yeah.
Skate park is pretty fun. But it's the Daggers place. They're not allowed to go in there because the Daggers have taken over the Venice Beach skate park.
Is that in Venice or Santa Monica?
It's Venice.
I mean, they border each other. It's one or the other, right?
Yeah, it's all the same
It's right
place,
there
but-
in that heap of bum mess.
In Tony Hawk 2, it's called Venice Beach Skate Park, so
Is it? Okay.
assuming it's...
So it's the south side of that border. All right.
So, did anybody else notice that they obviously had... Sam will probably know what these are called. They're like a piece of plastic, and then they have like the knife that's cut into the piece of plastic. So you can put the piece of plastic up and then spray can
A
it.
stencil?
And then when you...
Stencil?
Yeah.
Yes!
Technical term.
Anybody else notice that they stenciled fucking everything? So somebody went out and ordered a stencil in their gang and 2 colors, orange and black, to stencil the tank.
Yep.
Later, we see that they've replaced all their door handles and cupboard handles with daggers.
Yep.
Home decor.
It's classy, man.
So they're like, we can't go in there. That's Dagger's place. And Corey's like, oh, yeah. So he goes in there, and the Daggers are giving him dirty looks, and he uses their vert ramp, and they're like, you can't do cool stuff in here. And so he's like, oh, yeah? And then transfers out of the damn thing. Like, watch this. He doesn't land back and then pick up his skateboard and say, you going to stop me? He leaves. Oh, yeah? Goodbye.
Like, whoop. I'm still on wheels. Bye. You guys are hanging out in a skate park, not skating. Who's stupid? Oh, God, he's right. I am stupid.
So then he sees Christy, or Chrissy. Christy. Nobody knows what this lady's name is.
Chrissy with 2 S.
But then they
2 S's.
screw it up all over the place. They haven't called her Christy.
Yeah, they call her Christy. Like, there's a point in where Brolin's running down the street going, Christy, when they have this big fight, and she's like, my name is Chrissy.
No, he in that same scene, within his same lines, he calls her Chrissy, and then Christy. He goes, Chrissy, come back. Like, dude, nobody knows what your name is, lady. So anyways, he sees her, and they have the Romeo and Juliet suite moment. Or Dreamweaver, take your pick. But she's like, bye, and she leaves, and he's like, oh, and she goes over to the Daggers side of the vert wall, and she's like, hey, bro, how's things going today? And he's like, somebody called me stupid after I called them stupid. My makeup is running, and I don't look cool anymore.
And she's like, isn't this your skate park? And why aren't you skating? And he's like, that's what they said. I'm so stupid for not skating. You could fix that by skating. No, it's too late. I'm skating out.
And here goes Brolin, eat a dick, throws a hot dog at him. as he skates into their park again. Like,
And then he's like, I'm going to eat that off the ground in my tears of shame. Because I'm peckish. I'm peckish, and that's a hot dog.
Meanwhile, the professional photographer that they have there that is taking
What the fuck is this?
has captured this all on film.
The toughest.
Shame eating the hot dog.
They are tough enough to take over turf. They hire a professional photographer.
What says tough gang? Like going down to Family Memories and having a guy come on site and get a group photo.
All right, guys. So our calendar's going to come out in November. We could really take your donations to support the Daggers. Order every calendar you can. Here's us at Venice. Here's us. Here's me on the hood of my Buick.
Here's me at the junkyard.
Yeah, in real life, working at the printing company intermittently, one of the biker gangs from around here that has somewhat of a reputation kind of for being hard, but not really. Everybody that's been here their whole life is like, those guys aren't real. They print their calendar for everybody and they hand it out. And the one guy was like, the FBI wants this. And I'm like, why? So we can find out when you're doing charity rides and fucking potlucks?
Right.
Because it's just charity rides, birthdays, and potlucks. Like, you guys are not only not criminals, you're really nice men. I don't think the FBI care at all.
All right, so the Bozo's rabbit is not skateboardy enough, so they have to cut the top off of it with the blowtorch. Not sure if that would have worked. And then it collapses on itself and they all die. But no, they spray paint skateboardy stuff all over it now as well.
They take a nice new rabbit and they fuck it up something fierce.
Yeah. When they were like, yeah, let's paint it. And I thought they would paint like a cool skateboard or like a mural of a skateboard or something on there. But nope, it was just
graffiti messages
a bunch of graffiti.
Yeah.
And once Bozo shows back up at home and his dad sees it, he's never seen again.
Yeah.
He has been now sent to boarding school in Germany to teach him a lesson about German manufacturing.
We do not do the skateboarding in Germany!
Have you not heard of the Uniframe?
You destroyed our Volkswagen!
You will now learn about our manufacturing of the Volkswagen. Eat a dick. They threw a hot dog. They threw a breast at him.
They don't call him.
Then he would later go on to engineer the W16 engine, which was renowned by engineers. And they're like, finally you've paid your penance.
Bozo?
Also, no one likes it because your name is Bozo. We've lost a fortune. They never got to put that in anything. It was a marvel. It probably blows up.
The W16? What are you talking about? That's in the Veyron.
It's in the Bugatti. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that means they put like however many in something, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a commonplace.
Well,
you can't just put that in stuff.
I'm not going to put a W16 in my Civic, Sam. I don't need 16 cylinders to get to the grocery store. So, yeah, it wasn't ever going to be mom's driving that. So,
but if I had a CRX, I would totally put it in that.
No, you would not, because it's bigger than the entire car.
I could go.
You'd have to tow your CRX behind your car that has the W16 in it, Jackie.
Eat the Proust.
Have your Frankfurter, you stupid American. Bozo.
You're probably a kraut eater, a sauerkraut eater.
Oh, Bozo, you think you're so funny?
Eat a dick! And then he's like, could I please have some sauerkraut? And they're like, yes, you may. It's very good.
Somebody bring in Pagliacci and we'll show him what a real clown looks like. Pagliacci comes in crying.
I didn't get a hot dog!
See, in Germany we are very funny over here. You see the irony, don't you? Because he's a clown and he's sad.
So we throw bratwurst at him all day and tell him to eat a dick.
He's a sad clown. See, it's funny. See the irony. It's a whole juxtaposition on life and everything in Germany.
One time we got him in the eye.
Okay. All right, so they take the car, the rabbit, to the local dance club for skateboarding.
Better known as an abandoned warehouse that they ran an electrical cord to from the generator outside.
It's
This is really fun because they go in and the bouncer busts up the nutsack kid for trying to sneak drinks in. And then they get in and then they go buy drinks. He's like, no, you can't fucking take drinks in here. We sell 16-year-olds drinks, god damn it.
It's a sandbar.
This is a sandbar. And I would like to say that stuff didn't happen, but at that time the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing places like the Crazy Horse here, and I saw Corn and they sold me beer, and I was totally 16.
right? Yeah, exactly. So in come the Daggers with Christy, and the boys see him, and the Chili Peppers are up there doing their Anthony Kiedis sucking thing, and then Corey
And the cameraman is obviously getting pushed around, or is maybe he only has one leg and somebody's knocked off his peg leg and he can't stand up straight.
He's on stage with the Chili Peppers in 1985 when this was shot. They're knocking him around. They're jumping into the crowd. They have to be constantly reminded they're trying to shoot a movie while just playing one of their shows where everybody goes fucking crazy.
Yeah.
These guys were bonkers.
They were bonkers. For sure. So Corey and Christy, they're like, yeah, I'm more of a Speedwagon type guy, so you want to get out of here? And they leave, and they proceed to spend the entire night in a fall in love montage. The first of our montages.
And this is the first time I get worried about his $30 that he got from his mom. Because I'm like, $30, that's going to last him a while. But then I'm like, oh shit, he's got to do this all weekend. I guess he has an RV stocked with food. Let's save the RV for later. But yeah, I'm like, oh shit, he's looking at $30 for the whole weekend. This is,
the whole
taking
summer.
girls out all of a sudden. Yeah.
They fall in love, blah, blah, blah. And she comes back in the morning, and Tommy Hook is like, where have you been? And she's like, out. And he's like, doing what? She's like, stuff. He's like, with who? A guy. And he's like, what's his name? Corey. Where's he from? The Valley. She's a Valley? I told you once, and I told you twice, the only people you're allowed to have sex with are my friends.
And they don't bathe.
I told Gary he could roll you over next week. Steve's after that. What a dirtbag brother.
Her parents let her come here.
Right?
On a bus.
Right? Well, I mean...
Right. And then he's like, I'm supposed to be watching out for you, and like acting all super creepy about it, right? Which is about my comment when we first started. Very unnatural relationship. And then he's like, well, you could just go home then.
Stupid.
And then she was like, but Mom and Dad sent me out here because they were concerned about this professional photographer that you sent them a picture of you and your friends at a skate park. And some of the glam shots that you were sending back to some of our friends.
He does.
And
he goes, you don't get it. I'm styling.
And she's like, well, that's not what Mom and Dad think. They think that you have fucking cracked your knocker. Especially that one picture where the hot dog has hit you in the face and you're crying as it's making contact.
Some's good, more's better isn't a mascara tip.
Right. No, I'm styling. Get out of here, Tina. So it's now the pool competition time that Josh showed up for. And there's some general skating before this, but then he drops on in, and he's doing pretty good. But the Daggers are there, and they drop jacks. Like, not Jackie, but jacks on the ground.
Yes, violating everything the spirit of skateboard competition stands for.
Right. And the judges, there's not like a scene where the judges are like, oh my God, that man threw jacks in there. It's such a peaceful sport that they can't even like recognize the violation of the rules and somebody might get hurt. Like it doesn't even process with the judges, like to stop the competition and kick the daggers out because they're like, there's no way I saw what I just saw. That can't happen. This is skateboarding. It's too mellow.
Yeah. They will get rowdy on you if you fuck with all of them in general, because they're like a unit. Like in that the Olympics this last year, when the kid was on the half pipe and the snowboard, and he was doing shit that nobody else could do, and the judges were jobbing him, you'd look at every one of those competitors' faces, and they're like, if they job this kid, snowboarding is getting kicked out of the Olympics.
There's about to be a brawl.
There is the guy that's like, it's such a sick move. The guy that does that bullshit on the commentary or whatever, the color man for the broadcast.
Yeah, the one guy who really doesn't know anything.
I thought he was going to tip over a dumpster. In the middle of the competition, he's like, I can't believe
it. Burn it down.
That's how you get the skateboarders to fuck shit up, is by fucking with the spirit of their sport. Then you're going to see some dumpsters on fucking fire.
I guess the daggers, if in real life did this, they would then be not a gang anymore because they'd be all dead. Beaten over the head.
Yeah, that's what happened. Is that they're like, oh, we totally jobbed Corey Webster with those jacks, and then like every other competitive skateboarder there caught wind of it, and when they got home, that motherfucker was burnt to the ground with a little note on the lawn that said, "Nice dagger handles, you douchebags."
Oh no!
Oh no!
We gotta go get those stupid local 5 boys. Nope, you're stupid. I am stupid.
I'm so stupid. I put daggers on my door. It doesn't close. You can't latch with a dagger.
All right. So Corey wrecks and he gets hurt. He gets scraped up quite a bit, and they're patching him up. And then he sees the owner of Smash Skates, and he's like, "Dude, that guy." He invented skateboarding. I'm going to go talk to him. And they're like, whoa. And he's like, hey, kid.
And everyone watching the movie's like, no, this guy sells ice cream. I'm sorry.
He's like, hey, kid, I don't know what it is, but you have got it. If you can continue to win, I will sponsor your skateboarding career. He's like, wow.
Come to the factory and I'll give you a tour. Which sounds like he's going to lock him in a basement and rape him a bunch of times.
You are a villain and you just think that. I would think, oh, cool, I'm going to get to check out some cool skateboards. Yeah, that sounds good, actually.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I don't have enough room in this van to be kidnapped. It's actually just completely full of skateboards and skateboarding equipment.
Filled with the things that I love. Yeah. I'll go for a ride in your van. And hero of mine. But Jackie's instantly is like, he's going to rape me. God damn it, dude. You don't like people, do you?
We've done X amount of David Winters movies for the podcast, and we've done even more do's and don'ts on David Winters when sometimes we're like, well, was such a streaming dude that we'll do an episode on it. Right. We're starting to really get to where we know David Winters. Is it strange how many like factory sequences he has in his movies?
It's true.
He just really likes factories.
Yeah. There's not one in Deadly Prey, but...
There is not, no. But that wasn't him. He just produced it.
Yeah.
That one that is so crazy go nuts in South Africa is just in a factory.
Rage to Kill, you're talking about?
Rage to Kill, the one with Reb Brown
Space
is in the same factory. Yep. He just loves fucking factories.
Okay, so he's like, cool, man, you're my hero, I love you, I want to skate for you. And then we get... the Rabbit Boys skating around Sunset Boulevard montage. Second montage. Being kind of jerks as well. Like, they step on a lady's car. Not cool.
Yeah. They're douches. This is what gives skateboarding a bad name, is when they're just funning, and there really are vandalizing property by just wall riding and doing all sorts of shit you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, skateboarding's a very efficient means of transportation, and we now can't use it
versus walking
because
it's not. Bicycles are better.
Yeah, you're right. Bicycles are better, but you can't. Either way, you can't do it because of crap like this. Hey, I got a skateboard. Let's go get in people's faces and then ride away because they can't catch us.
Until they do it to Usain Bolt, and then he's like, "You little fucker," and he starts running after him, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's not Usain Bolt. Looks just like him." Hey, buddy.
Or anyone who has a car.
What if it's Usain Bolt in a car?
He would get out of the car and just run him down to show him.
That sounds fun. All right, so then Corey calls Christy, and Hook answers, and he's like, "You better leave her alone." He's like, "You better leave her alone." Oh, no!
Like, she won't talk to me, so I guess I have to. I fucking hate... you're right, I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. I hate my life. More daggers on the wall!
So he sneaks over there at night, and he falls off the roof, and she finds him hanging from a tree, and he's like, "Ice cream?" And she's like, "Yeah." So they go get ice cream, and they're sitting there. She eats an entire bucket of ice cream.
Yeah, this is reminiscent of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, when Napoleon won't let the girls have any more ice cream. It's the same giant bowl of ice cream.
She eats the entire thing. Where did she put it?
In the toilet.
She's going to have a real bad stomachache later. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he appreciates a woman who eats because he's like, "Wow, you really put that away." And that
doesn't?
was 10 of my $30.
Right?
No, it was
just 8.
It was $2.12 because he's like crumpled up some like two $1 bills, and there was some change. And he slapped it because he wanted to stay and get more, but there was like daggers at the ice cream shop. Oh my god, we gotta leave.
Yeah. So she's like, "Let's get out of here. Where are we gonna go?" And he's like, "Let's go to my motorhome, and we're gonna do things to each other." And while they're screwing, she has ice cream diarrhea and ruins that motorhome bed, and then apologizes profusely. But she has no place to go, so she runs into the RV bathroom to try to clean herself up. But there's no water in it, right? Because he's a skateboarding douche. So she has to make the cross-town trip with diarrhea walk of shame. Because she chose poorly and ate an entire bucket of ice cream. You can't do that and then pork all night.
Also, like, this is the 4th time that we've seen underage kids engage in things that underage kids shouldn't be engaging in. This has got underage drinking, underage screwing. Like, what do you think? Hook is how old, right?
Are we sure that they're underage? Because
I gotta think so.
Maybe they're 18 in 86 in California. I feel like it was still 21.
He was talking about just being there for the summer. Like, he's got to go back at the end of the summer. And she's there with her parents' permission. I think they're like 17. That's where I'm at. Anyway, 17's the right age. They can bone at 17, Sam. I'm fine with that part. I just don't need to see it.
Well, if you're both 17, it's fine. It's just that you're putting it on screen.
Yeah, I just don't need to see it.
Hey, kids, go fuck each other.
And it takes too long anyways.
And then right now, David Winters is listening to the podcast going, "You fucking idiot. These kids are fucking each other all over that place right now. God damn it. Don't get on me.
I am an idiot.
I am an idiot. Kids are screwing. Oh, God. We should make it illegal again.
Everything else is illegal.
Stop. Everything's illegal. Now it'll stop." Nope.
All right. So Hook and the daggers. I don't know if that was intended. Hook and dagger. Isn't that like a thing?
No, I think that's the
Cloak and
quickest they
dagger.
come up with. The Tommy Hook is not Tony Hawk.
Okay. They spot Corey skateboarding around, and they chase him, and they chase him all over the place. And he kind of ditches them by the powers of teleportation because he sneaks inside of a bus, and then they go inside the bus, and he's not there. He's up on the roof, which doesn't track at all. He can't get up there. But he did.
I don't know.
He did. And so they go over to his house, and they burn down their skateboarding ramp. Like, they escalated pretty quick.
They showed something, though, that when we were watching this, I was like, Sandra, that is really one of the craziest things you could do. Like, they show these skateboarding sequences where they're going down hills and there's places to ditch and do things like that, lawns. And if you go to the top of a parking garage and you go down one of those spirals on any set of wheels, you will get going so fucking fast and have no way to fucking stop that the only way that you have to do is to continue, find a way out of there, and then find one of those ditch spots. And I did that on a pair of rollerblades in Santa Monica one time.
Oh, no!
Hey. Okay, so I go down the whole thing. I'm probably going like 40. They show like later, there's like 63 on a skateboard, whatever. Like, after you get past 25, you're like, whoa, I'm going pretty fucking fast on these wheels.
Uh-oh.
So I'm probably going 40. I bolt through the exit of this parking garage and am greeted. My decision was like, this is the closest one. This is the easiest line. There's no cars here. I'm going this way. I was greeted with more downhill. And I was like, oh, fuck! This is getting worse! Worse! Because, like, if I started at the top of that hill, I'm okay, because I'm probably only going to get 30 by the time of the run. I was already going 40! It's like, oh, cool! I'm about to go 60 on fucking rollerblades! This is fucking stupid!
And
so I fucking ruined an entire set of wheels backdragging to get down to a speed that I could tumble through a lawn to a standing position and still hit a brick wall chest first at like 15 miles an hour. And I laid on the ground for like 8 minutes. And then my friend Mike came up to me and he's like, yeah, I got lucky and went into a bush. And he was scraped up like Freddy fucking Krueger.
hey, man, I got lucky. You look awful.
You look terrible. I feel terrible, but I'm going to stand up now. And then, because we're stupid fucking kids, we went down the hill to the park like we said we were going to, but there was sand down there, and that was a nice fall. And then it was like, okay, let's not do that ever again.
All right. Okay, so they, the Taylor and Radley is his name, and Bozo go down to Dagger Central, and I guess Corey's there too, but he gets held up because the little kid in the gang, Rex or something, and he's like, "Hey, Monk, you're gonna pay for my skateboarding ramp," and he's like, "Dude, why am I gonna pay for your skateboarding ramp? We all did it. Like, let's chip in."
Because Monk was the spy, and he knew where it was.
Yeah, but you're gonna just okay. So not the guy that holds the gasoline in the match, the guy that told him where it's at. Like, I think the priorities are a little mixed up here. Anyways,
they're a little mixed up, but either way, it starts the big fight, right? And that's where he's like, "Here's the deal. I know you don't have any money because you haven't taken a bath in 3 months. I'm gonna kick your ass," and then he does. He just kicks Monk's ass, but then fucking Tommy Hook has to step in, be Mr. Tough Guy. He's like 23. Everybody else is like 16.
Right.
He's that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Sherilyn Fenn is like 14.
All right, so he.
But it started off so innocently because, you know, when she first started hanging around, she was just the face paint girl.
That's gross. So he challenges.
Okay, wait. Whoa. Okay. Yep. We should move on.
So he challenges Corey to jousting. He's like, "Meet me at this place at midnight, and we're gonna joust." And Christy's like, "Don't go, don't do it, Tommy." He's like, "Shut up, Christy. I'm going. I want to joust." And skateboarding, jousting is, I guess, on skateboards with a beanbag tied to a stick.
Okay, nope. It is a set of nunchucks where you remove half of the nunchuck and you replace it with a red heart pillow. And you go up and down some drainage.
Missing.
Trying to whack each other with a pillow on the end of a chain.
Like, there's a lot of times where they're not even within like 10 feet of each other.
So
in Skate or Die, the joust was awesome because you were jousting on wheels. Like, even if neither one of you connect, you're probably going to the hospital because you're just going to fall off a skateboard and hit your head.
So is that like a real thing?
No,
Jackie.
It was a heart pillow on the end. I remember when this movie came out, and I know it was like, I'm like, I know I've seen this a couple times. I remember nothing about it. I'd forgotten Josh Brolin was in it. I remembered the joust. And when Skate or Die, the video game came out, I was like, oh, joust. This is going to be as awesome as Thrashin'. And then I was like, this is way better than this video game. In fact, fuck that movie. I like this video game fine. That movie sucks.
Oh, I forgot to mention we skipped another montage because there's a get your joust face on montage.
Yeah. And there was, I had him a note, miss like 57th acid drop.
So many. So the cops show up. Josh Brolin gets beat up pretty bad. He gets jousted on his arm, and I guess that fractures his wrist.
Oh, we got to talk about the jousting, because about halfway through them pussyfooting around on wheels, hitting each other with pillows, I write down, just fucking fist fight already, it'll go better. They fall off their skateboards and lose their shitty nunchucks and have to start fighting, and that's when Brolin is actually kicking the shit out of him. But there's apparently the drainage ditch is on fire.
Right, the drainage ditch is on fire in LA. That's a thing.
So that's happening, and he's going to push him into the fire, but he can't overpower him, and then all of a sudden he realizes, oh, one of the nunchuck heart pillows has gotten near me, and he breaks his arm with it. And you're like, I don't think he did.
He's like, oh no, my arm. I can't skate anymore. I'll never be good at anything ever again because my arm's broke. And Chrissy's like, I asked you not to go, and you went anyways. How you doing, by the way? Like, she's being very polite, and like, she should have been like, you stupid bastard. I told you not to do this. You just screwed your career. Now you're not going to be able to win the LA Massacre because skateboarding involves risks a lot, I guess. Anyways, I don't know that much about skateboarding, she said. I'm going to go back to Indiana and raise a very conservative family. Probably working at a coal plant.
Maybe she goes back to Indiana and goes to the University of Indiana Law School, which is a really good law school. You never know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand this whole fight because he blames her and she's like, eat a dick.
Yeah, right? I really...
She stands up for herself, and that makes her an even worse
right?
person.
He's like, this is
by the end of this
your
scene,
fault, Christy. What?
Yeah, and she's like, no.
What the?
Everybody in this movie just has hot dogs, like, shoved into their purses. They have a hot dog pocket in their pants, because this is the 80s, so there's, they have multiple pockets. Hot dog pocket.
The first responders to this skateboard joust were in Forest Service trucks.
Right? I did notice that.
No.
They probably had hot dogs too, and they're like, oh shit, the drainage dish is on fire. Roast up those wieners, boys, and let's put this thing out.
All right, so Corey skates up to the house, and he's like, hey, Velvet, I really need to talk to Christy. And Velvet's like, she left, and Chrissy's window is open, and she's standing up there getting dressed, and he's like, oh man, I totally missed her. Okay, come on.
Also,
what an idiot.
Like, so is that Sherilyn Fenn's car that Chrissy drives around in?
Yes,
because it's ridiculous. Yeah. It has like shag everything. There's like cow and pink and leopard and fuzz. Because it seems like she has her own car. Why wouldn't she just drive back to Indiana in the most plush vehicle ever?
So he's like, oh, no, Christy. Well, I vow to win the LA Massacre, and I'm going to buy you a new vert ramp with the winnings there, Tyler.
So they must be like cousins or something.
Why? Why?
I'm trying to figure this RV thing out. And
I think he's just a bro.
No. So you got the guy with the bozo's got the car. They go to a house that is Tyler's house, I think. House. And then outside of the house, there's the RV that he gets to live in. So he's basically just staying with his cousin for the summer.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know if... I still don't understand why it has to be his cousin. You could just stay at your bro's for the summer.
No,
because your bro's parents aren't going to be like, yeah, you can shag in that RV.
It's Corey Webster, Sam. He's the coolest.
I don't know about that.
Okay, they might be related.
Yeah, I mean, I would let Isaiah go stay in a motorhome, our son, right, at my sister's house for the summer. But, she only lives 30 minutes away. So I'm pretty comfortable.
So why would you even do that?
Right. Other than to set him up for complete and utter humiliation, so that when he brings a girl over, I'd be like, eat a dick and throw hot dogs at his
chair. That would be so awful. It's to set up like
lights in there and be like, what are you doing?
80s finally getting laid situation for your child when they're like at that age, and then be like, spotlights, hot dogs everywhere. You're like, oh my God, scarred for life.
My parents ruined me. But it'll be okay because the person that you're having that experience together with just ate a huge bowl of ice cream and has diarrhea shits all over your cousin's RV.
And barfed on your face.
Stop pushing my belly.
She's like, I think I should be on top. And he's like, no, I got this. One good push. Right
in his face.
Right in
Double
the face.
Dragon. Oh my God. All right. So Hook drops Chrissy off at the bus station. He's like, the reason I just want to kill every guy you ever talk to, it's just because I love you. No, it's because you're a psychopath, Tommy. Are you calling me stupid? So go ahead.
He's like, okay, we're at the bus stop, get out, in a shady ass part of town. And she doesn't even get on the goddamn bus.
She spends the night.
And then she gets woken up by other patrons, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll buy my bus ticket to Indiana.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Like, does she have to make a little extra money to make it home? So she was like, well, I'll just leave my suitcase here. I'll go do a couple of hand jobs behind the tacos with Terry. And then I'll have the money for
you know who sleeps? You know who's hanging out at the bus station after dark, Jackie? Bums. There's no money to be made in handies at the bus station. She has no excuse to spend the night at the bus station.
It's better than the squatting that her brother's doing at some house. Because they're squatters, right? Like, and apparently there was a letter. He's like, dearest parents, I can still write legibly somehow, despite being a total douchebag. Wait, no, I suck. I'm so dumb. You should send my sister here. She'll cheer me up. I'm squatting in a place outside Santa Monica. And they're like, okay.
Signed, Tommy Hook. And then he spray paints the entire thing using the stencil. And he's like, oh, no. I was going to put a dagger on it.
He draws a sad face in the bottom corner. And he mails it anyway. And they go, honey, your brother's in trouble. Are you sure?
We're sending you.
Oh, he's always been an idiot.
We're sending you to get it. You're the solution to fixing Tommy. 17-year-old girl.
Why are you sending me? Because we're tired of you banging dudes in RVs. You're 15. Go bang some in RVs down there. I am tired of people calling me about this. I got a farm to run. God damn it. Keep your goddamn panties on or go to LA where nobody has any.
I like your Indiana accent. I don't think that's quite accurate.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. So she gets off the bus, like, cause she's like hit, or she's on it, and she's, I guess, starts thinking about Corey, and she's like, he's cool still. I don't know why she makes the decision to get off the bus, but she does, and starts hitching back. She hitches in a motorhome with some old folks.
No, she doesn't. She can't get out anywhere, and eventually Large Marge picks her up in the Sundown Express.
Large Marge does pick her up, but right before that...
But that's after she gets a ride with the old people in the motorhome, and they drop her off at the road sign that says L.A., 365 more miles.
Oh, that's right,
keep going towards
and then
LA.
they just keep driving.
Got out for no reason.
They just keep driving to L.A. It's like, lady, do you want us to drop you off in Venice? And she's like, no, I'll get out here. It's 362 miles, honey. I know.
And they were also like, hey, you were just on the fastest Greyhound bus in history.
Right?
You should have stayed on that just to experience it.
So it's now Massacre Day, and like the race, it's called the LA Massacre, and it is very silly. The LA Massacre itself, this whole sequence is pretty kooky, and I don't think that Tommy or Corey Webster have a chance because they show up on trick boards, and there's dudes there that have speed suits and longboards, and actually seem like they are aware of how to do this.
Well, that fantail thing was actually the downhill board of the time. It's the double spoon nose is the freestyle board, which is why when we watched Gleaming the Cube, I was mentioning like, oh, you're seeing a lot of double spoon nose in this, because even though we remember those downhill boards on the shelves all the time. So yeah, the one with the tail is actually, that was the downhill board of the time. Now the downhill boards are used.
Who's got the tail?
There's a nose and a tail onto those. They're not a whole lot bigger than a freestyle double spoon nose, but
who's got one of those? Josh Brolin and Tommy?
Almost every skateboard in this movie is
right until the LA Massacre, when there's people there that are on longboards, like they do a pan, and like, you guys are gonna lose. Those guys have fast skateboards. You do not. That man's wearing a speed suit. You're wearing a cargo, like you're directing traffic at the airport.
Yeah. And you see a lot of freestyle boards in that sequence because the guys that were running the camera were doing handheld on freestyle boards so that they could have control. Right. Like, oh, I'm not going to do this on a downhill. No. Okay, going too fast, right? So it's a fucking mess of a scene that does skateboarding no justice.
And it's hilarious.
You see the same guy crash about 4 times.
It's awesome.
Apparently,
to his death.
There's a guy crashed and the paramedics are with him. And I was like, that guy that the paramedics are with is smoking a cigarette.
That was my favorite. Ow! That was my favorite crash.
And that was actually one of the Bones Brigade guys went down too hard. And he's like, I think I broke an ankle or something. I'm not getting up.
Gary, get me a smoke.
And so they shoot it. And he's like, I'm not going to not smoke. Fuck off.
Hold on. Let me burn this one before we get in the ambulance.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Let me burn this one before we... Actually, I think in 86 you could smoke in the hospital. He smoked
in the ambulance.
Mm-hmm. He's like, hold on, guys. I don't breathe air. I only breathe cigarettes.
So where are you guys from? Guys from around here?
They're like, from here? Like, Lasita? Where are you from? Oh, just right down the 405.
Sir, your foot is not connected to your leg. Oh, cool. Right on. So, how'd you guys get down here?
How'd you guys get down here?
And then, like, everybody starts crashing and bailing. Yeah. One guy flies off of the freaking mountain to his death. The speed suit guy also didn't make it because everybody's getting bonked around. There's gang warfare in this silly race.
I wrote down 38 people died.
It's pretty awesome. And after much carnage, all that's left is Tommy and Corey. And they're going at it back and forth, one in front of the other. But then finally Tommy crashes and Corey hits 63 miles an hour and it's a vert ramp and it's like, yeah, through the finish line. I loved it.
And meanwhile, all the
The
people
vert ramp's there because if you haven't died yet, this one will kill you.
A little added challenge.
I also love that all the people were like just on the other side of the finish line.
Right.
So all of those people they were like thanks for letting me fall on the people so that he could actually get stopped. He's Sam's lawn, essentially. Or his friend's bush, whatever.
Well, he hits that vert ramp, but because he's going 63 miles an hour, it actually shoots him out into space, so they don't have to worry about it. Whoa! I'm up here!
No, he just shoots off of he just shoots into the ocean and rides a wave back in. It's like, eat shit, Tennessee!
So then Chrissy runs up. She saw him win. He's like, "Whoa, you're not in Indiana. You made it back." And she's like, "Yeah, I love you." And he's like, "Cool. I'm only here for the summer." So
she's like, "I'm from Indiana, and I'm not wearing a bra." So they go bang in an RV and figure it out later.
Tommy's like,
answer to that question.
Tommy is like, "Hey, man, good win. You're my brother-in-law now." I like you. Everything's cool.
For the first time, he exhibits like the spirit of skateboarding, even though he wasn't all the way down. He was like trying to kill him, and it's like, no, just fucking race. God damn it! There's a little rubbing and racing. That's fine, but if I fucking try to kill somebody,
see you at the wedding.
It would have been better if he would have just like pulled out a knife and like threw it at him, and it landed and it lodged itself into his cast, so that way when he lands and then, Billy or Tommy comes up, he could just pull the knife out of his cast and be like, "Here you go, bro. I think you dropped this on the track now that we're friends."
Or it throws it and it hits him in the face and doesn't do any damage. And he's like, "Are these the daggers you're using for your cabinet handles?" He's like, "Yeah, I ran out of other daggers. His dagger bill is so high."
And that's your movie. All right, who's got questions? Either of you. Volunteer, go first.
I have a question. I have three questions.
All at once.
Not all at once, but just here's one. How does Josh Brolin feel about this movie?
I would be willing to say he probably forgot completely about it, but that's what my hunch is.
I'm going to say
he had to learn to skateboard to a certain degree.
I'm going to say he remembers this movie because he got to meet Tony Hawk. And that's about all he remembers.
Yeah, maybe.
And I fucking ate shit a bunch trying to learn how to skateboard.
I just see indifference completely. I just don't see how he could care one way or another. Like,
anybody else with questions?
You don't. That was like a Sam question. That it turns out he feels like this. Like,
No, my answer was he had to learn to skateboard, so he remembers it, but he probably doesn't particularly care.
Yeah, I don't think he really gives a crap. Like, he just doesn't seem to me like the type of guy that really reflects on this chapter of his life very much at all. In fact, even probably Goonies, he's probably like, "Yeah, I was in it. I'm glad I was, because payola." But I don't really care. I'm gonna smoke this weed now. Because I've heard Josh Brolin is big. He's not Harrison Ford level of getting it taken care of, but he's known to blaze up a doob once or twice.
Yeah. No Woody Harrelson say.
Woody's got nothing on Harrison Ford, dude. But either way.
Nobody has anything on Harrison Ford. He apparently only breathes marijuana.
My question is this how we solve America's divide? Skateboarding? Because that's what happens at the end of this. Tommy's like, "Hey, man, I was going to try to kill you about 20 seconds ago, but when I saw you hit that 63 miles per hour and go off that vert ramp, I was like, wow, I want you to be my brother-in-law. Have at my sister's butt." Gary, it's too late, Gary. Get out of here. She's not going to do it with you. I know what I promised. I am stupid. I get it now. The daggers are dumb. Because he's still, he's still the leader of a street gang.
Yeah.
Things aren't better. There's nothing resolved at all. I'll probably try to kill you later. Like when we get in fights at Thanksgiving, you have too much of the turkey. I'm going to grab that freaking knife. I'm going to cut your throat. Because I'm the leader of a street gang. Bro.
No, every year for Christmas, he's giving out daggers.
Daggers.
Because now he's got a surplus of them.
You mean door handles?
Yeah. But he spray paints them for the holidays. So if it's Easter, he kind of makes it look like a little Easter egg. And he's giving them out to the kids and the family. It's just kind of his MO for the rest of his life until he dies of a drug overdose later at a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert.
They got socks on their cocks. Get it? Oh!
No.
All right. I'm just saying. Maybe Uncle Joe Biden should look into some skateboarding. Heal these wounds.
He won't make it out of that one alive. No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't do that because I think that I don't want crappy Oprah for my president.
Secret Service is on the radio. They do the agent Jackson, or what the heck was Agent Anderson. No, Anderson was Neo's name. Anyways, they do the headset thing, and these Mr.
Anderson.
The president is going 63 miles an hour. This is not going to end well. Joe Biden hits the freaking vert ramp. Corn cob!
That'd be funny. I'd watch that hilarious. Like a fake Joe Biden half pipe thing. I'd think that would be funny. Jimmy Kimmel could do that, or Jimmy Fallon. One of the Jimmys could pull off a fake Joe Biden half pipe thing with Tony Hawk in a fucking gray wig.
I love it.
Doing a 900.
Heal these wounds. Let's get it done. Skateboarding is the way forward. Okay, Jackie, question.
Oh, there's no.
Okay.
I have two more questions. Do you think Meatloaf remembers doing the theme song to this movie?
Well, no, because he's dead.
Well, no. When he was alive, did he remember doing the theme song to this movie? I don't
know. Do we think what do we know about Meatloaf's intoxication? Was he a party boy, or was he straight edge? I think he drank.
He
drank. A lot.
He drank. He had to do all of it. He did roast ham and beer and weed and all of it. I don't know that he got into the hard stuff because of his portly nature, but there's no way a guy that produced that little volume of material with that much time and was that famous didn't just party like a fucking animal.
Okay, so if Meatloaf was a drinker and a partier, then he probably doesn't remember this, or he didn't remember this at all.
I can't imagine he remembers doing this song, or did remember doing this song.
When he hears it, does he go, "That sounds a lot like me"?
Thrashin'?
You don't have that many songs, Jackie.
What?
Meatloaf doesn't have that many songs?
I said you don't have... No, I said Jackie doesn't have that many songs. She can't be like Meatloaf.
You missed the epic hot dog song that I sang. I sang it for Justin while you were cleaning up your drink. I hope it makes it onto the podcast, but we'll see. It was pretty dumb.
I might tack it on the end. Okay. My last question is, why is skateboarding cool? Because if you think about it, it's the only thing that survived. We don't roller skate anymore. We don't roller blade anymore. People barely go to the ice skate, the little rink, the whatever. But skateboarding has survived many a decade and still is like, skateboarding's kind of cool. Like not like, oh, you little dorks with your stupid skateboard. Like, why is it if you can skateboard really well, you're a cool guy and not somebody who gets their underwear pulled up above their head like rollerbladers?
Why is skateboarding cool?
Yeah, my whole rant.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And it's hard.
But so's rollerblading.
It's hard.
So's rollerblading.
No, it's not. I learned to rollerblade in half as much time as skateboarding, and I spent half as much time on bicycling. I spent so much time on a bicycle, but I spent 3 times as much time on a skateboard as I ever spent on rollerblades. And I would never try to go that fast as I got going on rollerblades. Like I mastered rollerblades like within a matter of months. It takes a matter of years to master skateboard.
Okay.
See, and I think that you're wrong. I think that the old style skating, roller skating, is making a comeback.
Tiny margin.
I mean,
versus how many people skateboard.
It's on the, yeah. I mean, it's on the uphill. I've seen it in movies. Skate park here is doing pretty good. This roller rink here, and I know that the Treasure Valley back in Idaho, they got a skate rink recently.
Yeah, that's a private business, Jackie. Skateboarding's so popular that cities have to allocate funds out of their budget to build skate parks for skateboarders, not businesses.
Well,
and the
New York
BMX
City,
guys get to co-op
right?
it. Yeah!
Hey, New York just turned Times Square this summer into a roller rink.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Instead of an ice skating rink, they did a roller rink for the summer, and they haven't done that in 25 years.
They should. We should have a resurgence in roller rink music as well. You know, like Sean Cassidy, somebody like that should be big in the roller rink. You know, where you
Dancing Queen.
Yeah, where you have your.
Oh yeah.
You hold hands.
Disco.
Hold hands and at the Sadie Hawkins, and then later she might kiss you on the cheek, and you're like, oh. That sounds like a good time for America.
So going back to your question, why is skateboarding still a thing? Because it doesn't suck like all the other shit we just talked about.
Yeah, Sean Cassidy. What am I talking about, dude? When you listen to get on a skateboard, you're listening to stuff like Agent Orange and Black Flag. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
This is pussy crap. All right, Sam, last question.
With the current state of affairs of Johnny Depp's life, do you think he considers Sherilyn Fenn the one that got away?
Sherilyn! No.
No.
Now that's the question. Does Johnny Depp even remember Sherilyn Fenn?
Does Sherilyn Fenn remember Johnny Depp? Right. And he's on TV. We saw her in a movie. It was like, whoa, Meatloaf doesn't even let you at parties anymore.
Oh my God, that's sad.
That is below the belt, sir. Inappropriate. Poor Sherilyn Fenn. What did anybody do to her?
What she did to herself,
she
sir.
acted. That's what happened. She's not a good actress. It's always nice to see her, though. All right. Final recommendations on Thrashin. I am going to go first. I give it a double thumbs up. I loved it. I thought it was stupid, dumb throughout the entire thing, but fun. Yeah. I mean, I think I might have liked it better than Gleaming the Cube, Sam.
I like Gleaming the Cube better.
I understand.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Thrashin's pretty rad.
I like Gleaming the Cube better. Thrashin, I don't know. It had so many like low, slow points in it that could have been cut out, or I don't know, show me more skateboarding. I don't give a shit that this guy's
the skateboarding in this movie sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, comparatively. Yeah. I mean, it was like some guy with tube socks on jumping around on a skateboard, and I was like, well, no, you should use those tube socks for something else because you look stupid. And this is not exciting skateboarding. And people crashing. There was a lot of crashing and not a lot of tricks, you know, like they had.
But there was like 83 acid drops.
Right?
Yeah, that doesn't fucking count, dude. You're just dropping off of the stair. I mean, you're fine.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid.
Sam, final.
So did you say yay or nay?
I'm 50-50. I'm giving it an eh.
An eh?
An eh.
Give it 51 or 49.
Yeah.
Do it.
Give it a do or don't.
51.
All right, it's a do.
51, do. It's a do. Having seen this before, Gleaming the Cube, and everybody was always like, have you seen that? Have you ever seen Gleaming the Cube? And you watch Gleaming the Cube the first time, you're like, oh, wow, those tricks are like way better in this. If you like skateboarding, that's probably a better movie. If you like bad movies, this is a better movie. This thing is a hot mess of nonsense.
It is a turd.
I actually hate West Side Story so much that I don't want to ever recommend West Side Story, even on wheels, but I have to this time.
The other thing is the soundtrack is really terrible. And it's wall to wall. It's terrible. So, it's fun.
But bands that all are good.
I know.
It doesn't, except...
But it's like, it's kind of hokey. Like, what's playing behind all this, like, skateboarding that's supposed to be this edgy thing is very, like, family-friendly, goofy music. Like,
it's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This thing is it's a hot mess. Mm-hmm. It is a David Winters movie for sure.
Indeed.
Well, what really would have pushed it over the edge for more of a do for me is at the end after he won and Hook is like, hey man, we're all good friends here. If he would have just been like, oh yeah, and turned him around, grabbed him ponytail and shanked it off with a dagger.
And then replaced it with a hot dog.
Yeah, put a hot dog in this ponytail holder and been like, you've been dagger dog, fucker.
Oh, that'd be you take the dog and you use the dagger to cut it in half, and you 2-for-1 his own dick with the here's the dick. But you should also eat that because you're stupid. And he's like, I'm stupid. I'm going to eat the hot dog dick that hit my dick. It is now 2. Oh my God.
See, it's a good riffer. All right. We've got a little listener feedback.
It's a great riffer.
Yeah.
I was ripping into it the entire time we were watching it.
We got a little listener feedback. This is from ACB the Man. He says, good evening. I was having a conversation tonight and was talking about Stinker Madness, as everyone should. Like cocktail parties, on the toilet. Everybody should be talking about Stinker Madness in just those two places. I have only ever seen one movie y'all have reviewed. Really? Interesting, huh.
That is interesting.
But your podcast is one I make sure to listen to because it is always so entertaining. I am actually learning a ton about movies and bad movies, but it is generally fun to listen no matter what. Thank you for doing the podcast. It is a highlight of my week. Thank you for your kind words, ACB the Man. And I hope all is well with you, sir.
ABC. Easiest 1, 2, 3. ABC.
It's ACB.
ACB.
You
ACB.
bastard.
I've been drinking ACB. Just in case it's not obvious, that doesn't happen weekly on this show.
We should change your name to Tacky.
With the last 2 weeks that we've been doing this, I'm just dragging myself through the sewage of the gutters, so.
Whoa.
I haven't had a classy thing to say in a while.
When were you ever classy? Come on.
You and Meatloaf.
I don't know. People used to call me Queen Jackie, and now it's just like, oh no, the sewage queen.
You called yourself Queen Jackie.
Couple other people picked up on it, but
yeah, I only respond to Queen Jackie.
Okay, that's your show, guys. Next week is Jackie's pick. Do you got anything lined up?
Yeah, it's called Shakedown.
Shakedown.
Shit.
It's called Shakedown. It's from 1988, and it's got my boyfriend in it, Sam Elliott.
Okay, all right, Shakedown. We'll see how that shakes down, because last time we had a Sam Elliott turd. It was a turd. So, Shakedown.
But he's so sexy and hot, man. I mean, it's just
gonna
I don't
go
even
ahead
care,
and hit
man.
the stop button on the recording device now. All right, guys, have a great week and get to the chopper.
Got a hot dog in my pocket with your name on it, and I'm gonna pull it out and hit you in the eye. But if I miss your eye, I hope I hit your face. Because anything from the neck down is just not as funny. It's eat a dick, hot dog song. Eat a dick, eat a dick. Lucky I don't put mustard on so that it doesn't sting you in the eye and really hurt super fucking bad. And then you get an eye infection. Eat a dick, hot dogs, yum yum, dick, dick, dick.